We have 11 amazing restaurants featuring a wide variety for every price range and appetite. South Point's Garden Buffet has something for everyone at unbeatable prices. Or, if hunger strikes in the middle of the night, join us at Coronado Cafe. The American menu offers breakfast, lunch, or dinner 24 hours a day, plus a Chinese kitchen for authentic Chinese dishes from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. From steak and eggs to wonton soup, it's fast and friendly service 24/7. When you need a quick pick-me-up, you can find it at our state-of-the-art Starbucks just inside the main South Point entrance. Order ahead with the Starbucks app for easy mobile order pickups. Or enjoy your favorites in the relaxing dining area anytime, day or night. If you love Mexican food, Baja Miguel's has all of your south of the border favorites. There are dozens of classics to choose from, like fajitas, ceviche, chimichangas, tacos, and more. And for spirit lovers, Baja's colorful non-smoking tequila bar is right outside.
I'm former Major League pitcher Andy Pettitte. I teamed up with Tunnel to Towers after seeing their life-changing work with military and first responder families. Now we're expanding our mission to help veterans struggling with homelessness. We want to help them rebuild their lives not only by giving them a home, but by providing the services they need. Please join me in donating at t2t.org.
My name is Wally Joyner. I was a first baseman for the Angels, Padres, Royals, and Braves. I give the Tunnel to Towers because of what they provide for the veterans, the military, the first responders, the police, the firemen who go out and put their lives in danger for our freedoms. I think it's an incredible charity, an incredible foundation. Their goals of helping the families that protect us. I'm asking you to support the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. The foundation is committed to delivering mortgage-free homes to catastrophically injured service members, Gold Star, and fallen first responder families with young children. Never forget.
It's Derby time at Los Alamitos when the West Coast Best race in the Golden State Derby Final. The field will be headed by fastest qualifier Rockin' with Energy, who has been on a roll with back-to-back wins. Plus, top filly Cowgirl Up has also impressed. They'll face the top sophomore male at Los Alamitos right now in Grade 1 winner BP Cartel Policy. Plus, Governor's Cup Derby winner Mask Mandate and more. What a quarter-horse derby it'll be. It's the Golden State Derby at Los Alamitos.
The following is a Race Day Las Vegas presentation in association with Siraco Productions Limited on the Race Day Las Vegas Radio Network.
Live from the gaming capital of the world, time for Race Day Las Vegas, covering the sport of kings with a Las Vegas perspective. Now to the race desk with your host, Ralph Siraco.
From the backstretch to the turf club, at the racebooks and on the internet, to all horse players around the world, a good morning. Program for this Saturday morning, and it's jam-packed with some great racing and, of course, college football that will be starting soon, and we're in the epicenter right here in the gaming capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada, right here at the South Point Studios in the South Point Hotel and Casino Complex on Las Vegas Boulevard in Las Vegas. And, of course, I hope most of you guys are getting used to and watching us at YouTube. We're on the YouTube South Point Studios channel streaming. So just go to YouTube, hit South Point Studios, and of course you'll get our show starting. And if you haven't already, When you get there, hit subscribe. It is free. There's no charge whatsoever. You hit subscribe, and then you can start chatting in the chat room. And the chat room's already busy with a lot of listeners and people exchanging ideas and horses as well as selections for today. And of course, we welcome all of our listeners as well here in town that are zipping around town early this Saturday morning, listening to us on our anchor radio station, Sports Talk 1400 AM, 107.1 FM. And then, of course, all of the websites we got, racedaylasvegas.com, .vegas.world, .global. You can get us streaming there. You can also, with your devices, we haven't forgot your devices, you know, your iPhones or your Androids. You can get the KSHP app there to listen to us and the YouTube app to listen and watch us on your Android or your iPhone or whatever other type of phone you got, your device out there. And, of course, anywhere you get your podcasting as well. Simply put, however, wherever, whenever. Welcome to the Race Day Show for this Saturday. We're wrapping up Del Mar this weekend. Tomorrow is closing day at Del Mar. Today, of course, we'll feature the 2-year-old fillies in the Del Mar Debutante. Tomorrow, the Del Mar Futurity. Bob Baffert, who's won multitude times in both of those events, have the key horses in both of those events again this year. And, of course, if there is nobody hitting the pick six today, there'll be a mandatory payoff not only on the pick six, but every other pool tomorrow at Del Mar. But today, most of the major racing is all concentrated at Kentucky Downs, that unique European-style racetrack at the corner in Kentucky there. The Kentucky Downs has big racing today, kind of like Breeders' Cup type racing as far as the purse values are concerned. There are 6 races today at Kentucky Downs that have purses of $2 million each. Okay, $2 million each. And, of course, a couple of Breeders' Cup win-in-your-in races there as well today. And let's not forget Colonial Downs. They've got 6 races that include the Virginia Derby and the Virginia Oaks, among others. We have an announcement to make about the Virginia Derby as well. That won't affect this year, but will affect the Virginia Derby next year. And, of course, a great racing all around the country. So we're getting ready and get it started to get our handicappers going on these races, etc. Jonathan Hardoon will be back with us. He'll be taking a look at those races at Kentucky Downs for us as well. Of course, John Lindo, who had a nice winner for us yesterday at Del Mar. We got Rich Eng and, of course, Jerry Jackowitz as well. And, of course, your racing menu. The racing menu is a biggie today. Now, talking about Bob Baffert. He is going for his 11th Del Mar debutante today. Okay, his 11th Del Mar debutante. He's got 2 in that race. Tomorrow in the Futurity, check this out. He's already won 17 Del Mar Futurities in his training pass. He goes for his 18th tomorrow, and he's got 3 horses in that race as well. Other news, talking about the Virginia Derby. The Virginia Derby is going to be changed this year. After this year, the Virginia Derby is going to go in the schedule in March at Colonial Downs, and we'll have Kentucky Derby points that will be allotted to it. So the Virginia Derby won't be late in the year like it is now. It's going to be transferred early, I'd say about 6 weeks out from the Kentucky Derby at Colonial Downs, and then it will have Kentucky Derby points attached to it. And as far as the Kentucky Derby points are concerned, and I think this is a really good tweak, so to speak. The road to the Kentucky Derby Series is being tweaked as far as the points are concerned. Seems like preferences for horses getting into the Derby starting gate has been tweaked this year to award a lower total number of points in the races that do not have at least 6 runners. So if you got a race that has 5 horses in it, or 6 horses in it, and you got another race somewhere else in the country that has 12 horses in it, well, I guess they feel that the points allotted to the winner in those point-getting races shouldn't be the same. So they're going to drop the amount of winning points across the board, win, place, show, and the 4th place, across the board on those races that have 6 or less. The points will be lower, and the races that have more than 6 and have full fields, well, the points will be higher. I think that's a good move because that kind of when you're competing against maybe 11 other horses instead of just 5 others, makes good sense. So they're going to do that tweaking for next year. this coming year for the Kentucky Derby, as well as the Virginia Derby being transferred. Today will be the last day they have it at this time of the year. Then it goes into part of the Kentucky Derby Point Series races next year. All right. And Parks Racing is planned to reopen their turf course in Pennsylvania and in time for the big Pennsylvania Derby Day. You remember that they closed down the turf at Parks Racing because there were a lot of holes in it. They filled the holes. They said it's safe now for racing at Parks Racing on the turf there for those of you who play parks, especially on Monday and Tuesday. So some of the headlines that are going on today outside of the big races. But we got to get started because there's a lot of big races going on. Real quick, taking a look at what happened yesterday at Del Mar with the 3 o'clock post time yesterday. Richard Baltas wins the first race. His horse goes wire to wire in a mile turf event. Lady Montclair paid $12 even. And the third race, which was a mile on the turf for 2-year-old maiden fillies, turning for home, Watershed Moment had the lead, and several other horses were coming up next to it, and she left the course. She tried to jump the inside rail, but didn't. She knocked down the inside rail and went on the inner part of the infield. But, Armando Ayuso stayed on, and the horse was pulled up. She was fine. The horse was fine, and he was fine. But she left the course completely, didn't finish the race. And so the winner in a big upset, once the horses were scattered in the stretch, C'est La Vie Charlie wins it. Kyle Frey aboard, paying $51 for George Papadromo. And he's having a hell of a meet there at Del Mar. The fourth race, Bob Hess Jr. wins with a 1040 winner. Jeff Mullen checks in with a big favorite, the 1-2 favorite in the fifth race. Kelly's out. Mike Smith aboard, was last for most of the race and had maybe one or two horses beat at the top of the stretch. Mike Smith swung them out in the middle of the racetrack, and this horse dropped her head, and she was gone. The best in the race. Kelly's out wins. Last to first in that event, paying $3 even. Then you had George Papadromo get his second win of the day in the sixth race with Top Gun Tommy. That was John Lindo's pick on the show. A nice $12.60 win mutual there for John Lindo's winner on the show and George Papadromo's second win of the day with Umberto Rispoli aboard. Then the seventh race was a 14-20 winner. Sean McCarthy and Kyle Frey gets his second win of the day with that winner. And in the ninth and final race, the apprentice that Vince DeGregory has his book, Welfin Orantes, wins it in a big upset in the last race, paying $94 with a horse called War on the West that was a ship and win event runner. And that horse pays $94, and that pushed the pick six to a carryover today at Del Mar. And so it goes. And as far as Jonathan Hardoon's play at Gulfstream Park, no harm, no foul. The horse was scratched. All right, time to get started. We got a lot to cover on this race day show, so we're going to take our first break. And when we come back, we'll kick off with the menu, find out the weather across the country, because right now here in Las Vegas, it is perfect out here this morning. It was 78 degrees. You just want to go in your hammock on a morning like tonight. And, of course, we'll get up to 107 degrees today here in Vegas. Always fast, firm, and perfect in our race and sports books, though. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
South Point Casino has plenty of attractions for the whole family. Catch a movie. Our 16-screen movie theater includes 2 XD Extreme screens for the ultimate in viewing, sound, and luxury. After the show, treat the family to a variety of treats at our old-fashioned ice cream parlor, Kate's Corner. We scoop up a variety of creamy concoctions, including smoothies, hand-dipped cones, milkshakes, malts, sodas, and sundaes. At Kate's, there's something for everyone. And if you've still got time to spare, our bowling center might be right up your alley. Voted Best of Las Vegas, it's a great place for friends and family fun. 64 lanes, a pro shop, snack bar, and arcade. And while the kids are bowling, you can play slots and sip on a drink in the Alley Cat Lounge while overlooking the lanes. For our more serious and professional bowlers, the South Point is also home to a separate tournament bowling plaza.
Okay, back on Race Day Las Vegas from Las Vegas here in the South Point studios. The sports book is already starting to get jammed up, the race book as well, early post times for the races, and of course, early action for college football today. Don't forget, Sports by the Book is going to butt up right next to us. At the end of our show, we're going to hand it off to Sports by the Book to tell you all about the great football that's happening not only today in college football, but take a look at the first big Sunday of the NFL action as well. Sports by the Book right behind us right here, so stay tuned, stay right where you're at. All right, let's take a look at the weather across the country. 75 degrees in New York, 88 in Miami, Chicago. We got 65 degrees in Chicago. Wow, kind of a chilly morning there. But in the Southwest, it's still hot. Phoenix, Arizona will get up to 107 today. As I say, we'll match that today here in Vegas when we top out. In L.A., Los Angeles still getting over 100 degrees, 101 degrees today in Los Angeles. It should be a little cooler at Del Mar, which is further south in the San Diego County and by the beach, but it still might be a little bit hot in Southern California there at Del Mar. As far as the actual weather is concerned with precipitation, that's all through the Gulf Coast area and on up through the southeast. So we'll wait and see how the weather plans out, not only maybe in Florida, but also at Colonial Downs. So we'll wait and see about that. But in the meantime, let's get started with the menu of racetracks available today. First, post times are Pacific. You know the deal. If you're listening here in Las Vegas or anywhere else in the Pacific time zone, these will be your first post times. However, if you're listening under the many different other time zones we have with our simulcasting around the world, well, you got to adjust. Just adjust from whatever post time you're in to the Pacific time zone, so you don't miss anything. We don't want you to miss any opportunities to make a good bet and a win bet. We don't want you to miss anything like I miss Mom and Dad. Okay, here we go. Here's the menu for today. We begin with Laurel Park. Laurel Park has 10 races. Their first post time is at 9:25. 9:25 at Laurel. Delaware Park is next. They've got 7 races. Their first post time is 9:30. Then we get to Kentucky Downs. Oh, what a big day of racing there. 12 races, full fields, all big purses across the board. They'll roll out like this. You have a special pick 5 for the all-stakes pick 5 today. It starts out with the ladies marathon at 1 mile and 5/16. That's $2 million. Then you got the 7th race, the Music City, a grade 2 for $2 million. It's 6.5 furlongs on the turf for 3-year-old fillies. The 8th race is the Mint Millions, and it is millions, $2 million to be exact, 1 mile on the turf for 3-year-olds and up. The 9th race will be the $2 million Franklin Simpson Stakes, a grade 1. This is this race is a Breeders' Cup winning you're in, as well as the 10th race, the grade 2 Turf Cup for $2 million at 1.5 miles on the turf, obviously. So those two are Breeders' Cup winning you're in races. That's an all-stakes pick 5 there, and of course, the last $2 million stakes race on the card is the 11th. It's the Turf Sprint. That's a Breeders' Cup win in your end. So we got a lot of action going on. I take it back. The Franklin Simpson is not, but the Turf Cup and the Turf Sprint are Breeders' Cup win in your end races for the Breeders' Cup. Big day of racing. We'll get into this with Jonathan Hardoon in just a moment. First post time at Kentucky Downs for their dozen races today is set at 9:30. 9:30 at Kentucky Downs. And as far as the weather is concerned, right now they say it's fair conditions, temperature 61 degrees, wind north-northeast at 9 miles per hour, humidity at 67%. All right, we continue with the menu. Belterra has 8 races. Their first post time is 9:35. 9:35 at Belterra. Monmouth Park has 10 races. The $100,000 Smoke Blackened Stakes is their 8th and featured at 6 furlongs for 2-year-olds. Monmouth Park has a pick 6 jackpot carryover, $19,319. First post time at Monmouth is set at 9:50. 9:50 at Monmouth Park today. Gulfstream Park has 11 races, a couple of $100,000 stakes races in the Florida Stallion Series at hand. The 6th race is the $100,000 Desert Vixen for 2-year-old fillies at 6 furlongs. The 10th race is the $100,000 Dr. Fager for colts and geldings 2-year-olds. So they are the stakes races today at Gulfstream Park. Their pick 6 jackpot carryover stands at $125,871. First post time Gulfstream is set at 9:55. Colonial Downs has a big day of racing today, and they have a mandatory payoff as well at Colonial Downs. Their pick 6, this is a regular pick 6 carryover. It is not a jackpot. Their pick 6 carryover, $9,483. It's a mandatory payoff today. Best tickets will chop up everything, the pool and the carryover today. 12 races, first post time 10 a.m. They got 6 stakes races. The Colonial Cup will be the 5th at 1.5 miles on the turf. The Rosie's Stakes at 5.5 furlongs on the turf for 2-year-olds will be the 6th. The 7th race will be the Kitten's Joy at 1.16 miles for 2-year-olds on the turf. The DeHaas Stakes at 5.5 furlongs for 3-year-olds and up on the turf will be the 8th. The 9th race will be the Virginia Derby, 1.18 on the turf for 3-year-old fillies, a full field of 13 there. And the favorite right now on the morning line, at least, and it's lukewarm at 4-1 is Calispera. That's the favorite there. The 10th race will be the $500,000 Grade 3 Virginia Derby. Next year moved 7 weeks before the Kentucky Derby to hold 105 points for the top 5 finishers next year, not this year. But this year the Virginia Derby has a dozen in it at 1.18 on the turf for 3-year-olds, and the favorite there at 3-1 is Deterministic with Manny Franco aboard. A dozen races today at Colonial Downs, first post time 10 a.m. And remember, they have a mandatory pick 6 payoff today. Their carryover $9,483. Then we go to Woodbine Racecourse. Their feature race is the $100,000 Niagara Stakes at 1.25 miles on the turf for 3-year-olds and up, a field of 12 there. Your 2-1 favorite is Paramount Prince with Pat Husbands. Woodbine has a couple of nice carryovers. The Super High 5 jackpot carryover, $34,189. The Pick 6 jackpot carryover, $54,276. First post time at Woodbine is set at 10:05. Del Mar, where the turf meets the surf. Oh, yeah. Remember? Told you they got a Pick 6 carryover. They didn't hit it yesterday. Pick 6 carryover at Del Mar, $76,386. And they have a Super High 5 carryover from that monster winner in the last race. That goes, that carryover is $62,819. So a couple of nice carryovers today at Del Mar. They've got 11 races today at Del Mar. A couple of stakes races. The Del Mar Debutante will be the 4th. Grade 1 for 2-year-old fillies at 7 furlongs. 7 go to the post. Bob Baffert's got it surrounded. Nooney is one of his entries at 4-5 with Juan Hernandez. His other entry, Tenma, is 4-1 with Kazuchi Kimura, a 7 filly field in the Del Mar Debutante. Right after that, the 5th race will be the Del Mar Juvenile Fillies Turf at 1 mile on the turf for 2-year-old fillies. A dozen go in that one. Favorite at 9-5 is Thought Process with Hector Barrios aboard. 11 races today at Del Mar. First post time is at 1:30 with carryovers in both the Super High 5 and the Pick 6. Emerald Downs is next. Emerald Downs has 8 races. Their first post time is at 1:30. You got Ferndale, Northern California Racing Fairs continue. 8 races, 1 quarter horse, 7 thoroughbreds. First post time at Ferndale, where they still have that big Super High 5 jackpot carryover of $55,398. First post time at Ferndale is set at 2:15. The first race will be a quarter horse race. The rest will be, of the 8, will be thoroughbreds. Canterbury Park has 8 races. Their first post time at Canterbury Park is set at 3:10. Prairie Meadows has 10 races. The first 4 races will be quarter horses, and 3 of them will be trials for 2-year-olds at 350 yards. The last 6 races will be thoroughbreds. And Prairie Meadows has a Super High 5 jackpot carryover, $15,836. First post time at Prairie Meadows is set at 4 p.m. Remington Park has 8 races. Their first post time is 4:30. And Los Alamitos, 7 o'clock first post there tonight at Los Al. First race is a thoroughbred race. The last 7 will be quarter horses. And the 8th and final race will be the $193,400 Derby. You've been listening to the commercials. The Derby is tonight, 400 yards for 3-year-olds, where the big favorite there is BP Cartel Policy. And don't forget, that's a 7 p.m. first post time at Los Alamitos. And do not forget that here at the South Point, if you want to play Australian races, they got that for you too. They've got 3 Australian tracks coming in tonight here at the South Point, and you can play them there here as well. All right, that's the menu for today. Let's get out to Jonathan Hardoon. Jonathan, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph. It's interesting that Colonial Downs is going to make the West Virginia Derby points next year, considering it's a turf race and the Derby's run on the dirt. So I guess Churchill has to do with that. It's kind of like what they do at Turfway Park when they give away those points also for running at big race at Turfway before the Kentucky Derby. So they own these tracks. They have the right to do what they want. Doesn't make much sense to me, but who am I?
Well, you know, you have a little versatility going on. Now you got to think whoever wins the Virginia Derby, if that horse can handle dirt or not. And I guess maybe the horse, you know, just going there for the money and the points might have already performed well on the Derby. So it's just another little, just another little handicapping, slit to go for. That's for sure. But since Churchill is an owner of Colonial Downs, you can see why they're doing it, just like they did with the Turfway Park. Anyhow, today we're centering on a big field out there in Kentucky. It's called Kentucky Downs. And I know it's very hard to figure out handicapping there at Kentucky Downs, but man, are they giving away some bucks today.
A lot of money on the line today, Ralph. If you get an opportunity to run there, you have to take full advantage of it. And there's one of the races later on when we get to, we'll discuss it. 3 horses actually ran there a week ago and are all coming back on quick turnarounds. So they don't want to pass the money up either.
Well, there is no later on. It's time to get started and go to it. We'll do it in a sequential order. The 6th race is the start of the Pick 5. 12:27 p.m. is post time here in Las Vegas for that all-stakes Pick 5. It's the $2 million Ladies Marathon. 1 mile and 5/16 on the turf, a field of 9. We have only one late scratch, no late scratches, as a matter of fact, in this race. And the 5-2 favorite there is Chop Chop with Flavian Pratt aboard. How do you see it?
Yeah, I give a slight edge to Chop Chop. He's 1 for 1 over the track. He's doing well. Cox always sends him out ready to run, and you're getting Flavian Pratt. Going to be a short price, but certainly the horse to beat.
Well, we got to look for, some races that we might be able to singleton, although that might be difficult at Kentucky Downs to get through that Pick 5 with a doable price on it. So you like Chop Chop in the marathon. All right, next comes another $2 million race, the Grade 2 Music City for 3-year-old fillies at 6.5 furlongs on the turf. We have a scratch there. Scratch the 1 Crown Imperial. That was a big long shot in the race. The 1 is out. And so that'll leave 15 yet to go before any more scratches. And the field, this is, well, like any other race at the Kentucky Downs, it's wide open. I mean, the morning line favorite in the race is 4-1, and that's Twirling Queen with Luis Saez.
Yeah, I like the number 3 horse in here, Time to Dazzle, a 3-year-old filly from the Mark Casse barn. Mark Casse had an unbelievable meet at Saratoga. He was hitting at about 35%. Still looking for his first win here. I think it's going to come with number 3, Time to Dazzle. Hookups, number 2, Kyra, and number 10, number 4, Pipsy, and number 10, Simply in Front. 3 with 4 and 10.
All right, 3 with 2, 4, 10.
With 4. Right.
You said 2, 4, 10.
Yes, 3 with 2, 4, 10.
Okay.
3 over 2, 4, 10.
It's time to dazzle. Let's dazzle them along here. We go to the next race, the Mint Millions, which is another $2 million race, a Grade 3 at 1 mile on the turf for 3-year-olds and up. There no late scratches to this time in that race, so 11 will go. And the 5-2 favorite on the morning line is Ancient Rome with Jamie Spencer aboard, European horse.
Yeah, this is going to be one of my 2 official radio plays, and I like the number 1 horse in here, Emmanuel. This horse was privately purchased since his last race for $500,000 on the digital sales site. They paid $500,000 for this horse. If he wins today, well, they're out on the horse. Plus, it's a $2 million race. Used to be trained by Pletcher. Maker does extremely well, usually at this meet. So far, not so good, but things are going to turn around today. The interesting thing, Ralph, I was telling you, 3 horses in this race. The 3 Irish Aces, the 4 Cash Equity, and the 11 Goliad, all coming back on a week's rest. So, they ran for $500,000 last week, and they're getting an opportunity to run for $2 million today. So that's a little interesting. I never, ever saw Dick Mandela bring a horse back on 7 days. That's the case with Goliad. But I like number 1, Emmanuel, 6-1 on the morning line. Jose Ortiz aboard to ride. I think this horse is going to run well here.
Now, Goliad, if you remember last week when he did win at Kentucky Downs, did the same thing when they won last time in Southern California on the grass. He went wire to wire. And so we're expecting Goliad to be the pace setter in this mile turf race. But you like the 1, Emmanuel, 6-1 on the morning line with Jose Ortiz aboard as your pick. And we'll wait and see if Flavian Pratt can get Goliad to get the mile again today. We will now go to the 9th race, which is the Franklin Simpson Stakes on the turf. Oh, obviously, it's 6.5 furlongs for 3-year-olds. Scratch the 2, Evade. and the 14, Where You All at Vince. Where You All at Vince. The 2 and the 14 are out. There's obviously there's 14 horses left to go of the 16, and this race is wide open as well. But you have an angle on this race.
Well, I do. I have an interest in this race. My son purchased number 10, Howard Wolowitz, for the Gold Square Stables, and this horse has 3 career starts. He ran very well in all of them. Last time out, totally blocked for about a 16th of a mile. Go watch the replay. He would have been no worse than second that day. Gets a rider switch to Irad Ortiz, draws a good outside box. I'm certainly rooting for number 10, Howard Wolowitz, and I think I'll be betting a few dollars as well.
Howie! It's Howard Wolowitz in the ninth race. Is that not a character from one of the TV?
Yeah, Big Bang Theory. He was a character on the Big Bang Theory.
Okay, good. Well, let's get that character home with a big bang today, huh? In the ninth race, the 10 is Howard Wolowitz. That's your play in this race. And, of course, we're going to root for him at $2 million. That's a nice little stipend to get us. Well, 9-2 on the morning line. All right, the 10th race is the Turf Cup. This is a Breeders' Cup win and you're in at 1.5 miles on the turf for 3-year-olds and up. Yeah, another $2 million. It's a grade 2. 11 go to the post. No scratches yet. Integration is the 8-5 favorite there with Kendrick Carmouche aboard.
No one should be favored in this race, Ralph. You could literally make a case for about 7 horses. I'm going to go with a price horse here. I like number 5, Sugoi. Irad Ortiz. I love the rider switch today. Mike Maker, 20-1 on the morning line. I like number 5, Sugoi, to certainly outrun his odds.
Hamana. Boy, you got the 20-1 shot in this race. The 5, Sugoi. Number 5 with Irad. You think Irad's going to be 20-1 anywhere in a stakes race?
And Maker, probably not, but that's what it says. Listen, I'll take anything over 10-1 on this horse. I think he has a legitimate shot.
Okay, and again, Mike Maker, the trainer, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so in the 10th race, the Turf Cup, number 5, Sugoi, at 20-1 on the morning line, and use whatever you want as far as link-ups out there, folks. If that horse gets there, we're going to get a payoff. And then the $2 million Grade 2 Turf Sprint, another Breeders' Cup winning you're in. This is at 6 furlongs on the turf for 3-year-olds and up. 13 have been entered so far. 13 are still going. Cogburn is the 6-5 favorite there with Irad Ortiz Jr. I got to tell you that he deserves to be favored.
Yeah, but it's 6 furlongs may not be his best distance, Ralph. And 6 furlongs at this track is not like 6 furlongs at other tracks because it's probably longer than 6 furlongs. I would take a shot here. Number 3, One Timer, a 5-year-old gelding from the Larry Ravelli barn. You talk about horses for courses. Well, this horse has 3 starts at this track, a win in 2 seconds. So we know he could handle it. Jared Loveberry aboard to ride. You're getting 8-1. I like number 3, One Timer, to upset and win the Turf Sprint.
All right, that's the Turf Sprint there. And when you're saying that this race might be longer, you're not talking about the exact distance. You're talking about because they got to run up and down hills that it's going to be more. It's going to feel like it's longer to a lot of the horses.
Yeah, I mean, you see horses that run well at 5 furlongs and they go there and they just can't transfer it because it's not really, I don't think it's really 5 furlongs. Obviously, if you measure it, it's pretty close to it, but going up and down hills, it's not the same.
Yes, it's there's a lot of undulation to the course out there. The 11th race Turf Sprint, you like the 3 One Timer at 8-1 with Loveberry aboard. Now, you got a full sheet, though, for the Kentucky Downs. And, again, we remind everybody the 6th race starts that pick 5. And you had an official pick there, Emmanuel, back in the 8th race. I want to remind everybody, before you give me a pick at Del Mar, that on the show yesterday, we went over the Virginia Derby and the Virginia Oaks. And you came up with some horses that had some prices in there. So I'm going to give it out again today for the folks who brought a note from their doctor and their mom, so they could miss yesterday. But today they're here. So in any case, in the Virginia Oaks, the 9th race at Colonial Downs, you like the 6 Awesome Check at 10-1 and the 7 Deep Satin at 5-1. That's the 9th at Colonial Downs. And in the Virginia Derby, you really like some prices. You'd like the 8 Massive at 30-1 on the morning line, the 10 Oscars World at 12-1 on the morning line, and Fulmino, I should say, the 11 horse at 15.
That comes in, Ralph. I won't be here tomorrow. Thank you.
Yeah, that's right. I might not either. But in any case, those were the ones you gave out yesterday for Colonial Downs. We'll get your pick at Del Mar, and we'll let you go to breakfast.
Okay, eighth race today at Del Mar, 6.5 furlongs on the main track. I like the number 7 horse in here, Sharp Ride, a 4-year-old filly from the Dean Pedersen barn. Armando Ayuso aboard to ride, and it's a miracle he's riding today, and he didn't get hurt yesterday, Ralph. That was really something to see.
Yeah.
She's listed at 9-2 on the morning line. I like number 7, Sharp Ride, to win today's 8th race out at Del Mar.
Well, he was a sharp rider on the horse yesterday. Fortunately, the inner railing on the turf course, because they changed the degrees of, the railing there, it's a flexible rail. So the horse never fell over the rail. It just pushed right through it and was on the infield. And finally, Yuso, who was still on him, managed to pull him up before he wound up in a lake or something out there. But in any case, that was a good move there.
And he was cleared to ride the next race. So
Yeah.
you got to give the kids some credit. You fall off, you got to get right back up, and you can't do it better than he did.
Yeah, but I want to know now, he left the course early. Did he get the full Jocks Mount fee, you think?
Listen, the horse returned safely, so they should be very happy with his job.
And he was leading at the time. In any case, your pick is the 8th race, the 7 Sharp Ride, with the one and only Mr. Oyoso aboard. Don't forget, full sheets for Jonathan and for Del Mar and Kentucky Downs today, available right now at your website.
JONHARDOON.com. Thank you, Ralph. Stay safe. Be well. We'll see you tomorrow.
You got it, my man. We continue to roll along on this Saturday Race Day show, taking a quick break. When we come back, Mr. Rich Eng standing by.
Thank you, buddy. There are many families that need your help. I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I'm asking you to support the Tunnel to Towers Foundation in their efforts to deliver mortgage-free homes to catastrophically injured service members, Gold Star, and fallen first responders families with young children, as well as eradicating homelessness amongst our veterans. Everybody knows where the money's going. Every single dollar. God bless you. Please contribute $11 a month to support their efforts by visiting t2t.org.
Hello, I'm Dennis Quaid. For years, Tunnel to Towers has demonstrated a commitment to first responders and military families. They've paid off mortgages and built specially adapted smart homes. Now the foundation is expanding its mission to eradicate veteran homelessness. Please give our veterans a chance to reclaim their dignity by donating at t2t.org.
South Point is also proud to provide a variety of relaxing amenities for the guests who want to be pampered. Soak up the sun and let your stress melt away in our lagoon-style paradise swimming pool. A relaxing getaway where you can bask in the desert sun and enjoy seasonal food and bar service poolside. And if you really want to escape, come to Spa Costa del Sur. From couple suites to a co-ed wet area, our spa caters to business and leisure travelers who want to unwind and elevate their senses. A visit to one of our spa's steam, sauna, or whirlpool treatment rooms will leave any guest feeling like they can take on the world.
All right, back on race day. Time to quickly go to Rich Eng standing by. Richie, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Ralphie. Good morning, viewers. Good morning, listeners.
Well, another day of college football today. I guess the big game of the day should be Michigan and Texas. I'm sure everybody wants to see that. That'll be an early start. And, of course, a lot of great racing across the country from Kentucky Downs to Del Mar. And, of course, Colonial Downs has a nice card as well.
Yeah, the Texas Michigan game has an early start. I really love Texas, but I tell you what, Ralph, the line opened at 3 and it's up to 7 now, so I'm not going to touch the game with a 10-foot pole. The good number's already gone, but people are just pounding on Texas.
Yeah, that is too big a spread. You could take 1 or 2 points over if you really like the team, but that's going a little bit too far, I think. It'll be enjoyable to watch, though, as well as all the great racing around the country, of which we can bet into the pari-mutuels. Before we get started with Del Mar, I know you got a full sheet of Kentucky Downs and a lot of great big stakes races there today. Richie, perusing the races at Kentucky Downs, do you have any thoughts about any of the big races there or any horses that you're kind of anxious to see in those races?
Yeah, well, Jonathan went over the $2 million and dollar purses, and they're all fantastic races. Obviously, one of my picks is going to be in one of the $2 million races, but in race number 8, I do like the 8 horse Talk of the Nation. This horse has been came out of the Arlington Million running at 1.25 miles, but his mile races are really good. And a horse called Carl Spackler kept beating him, in some of these Grade 1 mile races.
Yep.
But there's no Carl Spackler in this field, so I think number 8, Talk of the Nation, will finally break through for Pletcher. But as far as my pick of the day, Ralph, at Kentucky Downs, it's in the next race, in race 9. And, as we've said before, the handicappers do not talk to each other as far as what horses they're going to give out. But number 10, Howard Wolowitz, I bet him in the Mahoney at 12-1. And as Jonathan correctly described, he was blocked a length of the stretch, never got free to run. And so I put him on my horses to watch list, and lo and behold, here he is in the $2 million race. But number 10, Howard Wolowitz, is also my pick, along with Jonathan, in Kentucky Downs.
All right, so in the 9th race, you like the 10. Howard Wolowitz, the 10 in the 9th race at Kentucky Downs. But don't forget, Richie's got a full sheet, and that's available at the racedaylasvegas.com website. Time to pick a horse at Del Mar, and we'll let you go.
Well, I do have a college pick, Ralph. Yesterday, I lost on SMU, and quite frankly, I was really dissatisfied with the way the coach handled the quarterbacks. The kid that the backup played 3 quarters, he moved the ball between the 20s, but SMU 5 times made it into the red zone, and they scored a total of 9 points on those 5 trips. So they really blew a lot of chances to put points on the board. But that breaks a 4-game win streak for me. My game today is I like the Iowa Hawkeyes -3 against Iowa State. This is a great in-state rivalry. Iowa's got one of the best defenses in college football, and I think their offense is going to be a lot better than last year with a new coordinator and a new quarterback. So let's go with Iowa -3 over Iowa State.
All right, now a pick at Del Mar.
Del Mar, let's go to race number 3. It's a really good-looking maiden special weight race. Bob Baffert has 2 of the most likely winners. The big favorite is number 4, Kings Road. But I have been told that the other Baffert, the number 1, Zabo, is a horse that they really love in the barn. They've been waiting for a 2-turn race, and here it is for his debut. Let's go with number 1, Zabo, 6-1 in race 3.
All right, for all those reasons, and we'll take it under consideration and make a play on that, that's for sure. In the 3rd race, number 1, Zabo, the 1 in the 3rd race, Rich Eng's pick on the Race Day show. Full sheets for Del Mar and for Kentucky Downs right now at the racedaylasvegas.com website. Hey, thanks a lot, Richie. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Hey, thanks, Ralph. Good luck, everybody.
All right, a quick break, and then we're coming back with John and Jerry. Don't go away.
It's Derby time at Los Alamitos when the West Coast Best race in the Golden State Derby Final. The field will be headed by fastest qualifier Rockin' With Energy, who has been on a roll with back-to-back wins. Plus, top filly Cowgirl Up has also impressed. They'll face the top sophomore male at Los Alamitos right now in Grade 1 winner BP Cartel Policy. Plus, Governor's Cup Derby winner Mask Mandate and more. What a quarter-horse derby it'll be. It's the Golden State Derby at Los Alamitos.
The Race Day Las Vegas Show, the only exclusive daily local media racing information source in Las Vegas.
All righty, rolling along on this Race Day show on this Saturday as the crew gets ready to go to the Sports by the Book right after our show is for all the college football action today with Alex and Jeff. We now go to John Lindo in Southern California. John, are you in the press box at Del Mar?
Yeah, I am. Good morning, Ralph. I'm in the press box here getting ready for the day.
Okay, my man. Well, do you have any thoughts about Kentucky Downs? I know on the Lindo Report you have a suggested all-stakes pick 5 on the Lindo Report, so I know you went over those 5 stakes races. You have a thought or two on any one of those races before we get to the Del Mar pick?
Yeah, I like the 9th race today. That's a great one, Franklin Simpson. I know those both Richie and John are in on Howard Wolowitz, but you got a lot of 5.5 furlong horses trying 6.5 with an uphill stretch. I think this race could fall apart late. I like Please Advise, number 8 on the program, cutting back from a mile. He's better around one turn. You got Flavian Prat, and I think maybe he makes the last run. He's 8-1 on the program.
Oh.
Number 8, Please Advise, race number 9, Kentucky Downs.
I like that price. In the 9th race, the Franklin Simpson, you like number 8, Please Advise, at 8-1 on the morning line with Flavian Pratt aboard. You like the 8 in that race, and with Jonathan having another, and Jonathan and Richie both liking another horse in that race. You know I got a Siraco play here. The Siraco play is going to be the 8-10-10-8 exacta box, but you like the 8, Please Advise. And I want to advise everybody out there right now that on the Lindo report that covers all of Del Mar today, you also have the 5 races in the All-Stakes Pick 5 at the Kentucky Downs as well. You got all of that comprehensive on one sheet, of course, the picks and the suggested late pick 4 and a suggested pick 5 for the stakes here at Kentucky Downs, all on one sheet. It is the sheet here, the Lindo report, available only in one place, and that is here at the South Point Racebook, free of charge. Compliments of the folks here at South Point, because they love horse players. And John, we will now go to Del Mar and let you go.
I'm going to go to race number 8. Again, I think I'm taking on John Hardoon, but this is a keep it simple kind of race for me. Number 10, Wish They All Could Be, has won this Calbred Conditions 4 times on the dirt. She's back in, claimed last time, reclaimed by Ron Ellis, back in for the $20,000 optional tag. She wins races in bunches, comes off an easy win. She can do it right back. If you get the 7-2 morning line, you take it. Number 10, Wish They All Could Be, race number 8, Del Mar.
All right, you guys are giving me another Siraco play going on here. In the 8th race, you like the the 10, Wish They All Could Be. The 10, Wish They All Could Be. And, of course, that'll be your play in the 8th race at Del Mar. Jonathan came with the 7, so I got another exact box in the 7-10-10-7 there at Del Mar in the 8th race. And, again, don't forget, you can get all of John Lindo's Lindo report right here at the South Point in the racebook, free of charge, compliments. The only place you can get it in the gaming capital of the world, right here, because they love horse players. And, John, we're going to have a fun day at the races, that's for sure.
Yeah, long day today. Let's have some fun. Good cards today and tomorrow. Closing day tomorrow, mandatory payouts at Del Mar.
You got it, John. Thanks a lot.
All right, good luck today.
All right, now we're going to Jerry Jackowitz standing by. Jerry, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph.
Well, I know that you're only doing one sheet today, and of course that's at Del Mar. You'll be back with the 2 next week when Belmont at Aqueduct starts up on Friday. But a pretty good card today at Del Mar, and what say you?
Yeah, and I just want to say that I thought the last couple of days the track at Del Mar played much better and was much fairer. What say I?
Yes.
Here's what I say. I say that if you have a nice price, so say 5-1 in a cheap field with a lot of crappy horses with crappy form.
Yeah.
You know, when you put your play in, but then do the all button, hit the all button.
Okay.
I mean, I know you must have hit the reverse all button and got that exact in the last race. I hope some of the people out there did that. We've talked about it enough times.
Yeah, that was a monster win, that's for sure. And of course, it created a.
Westeros ran a fantastic race. He ran really good.
I understand.
The other horse, who could figure him? But
okay,
314-1.
Yeah, we got to get going. That's passed. Let's get started with a pick today.
Take it easy, Ralph. Let's go to the 7th today. We got lottery pick, the 1 horse. Make a good win bet here, win place bet here. Play the 1 with the 2, 3, 6, 8. Do your reverses. But the 1, that's our pop-out key and feature play in race number 7.
All right. In the 7th race, you like the 1 lottery pick. The 1 in the 7th. Link-ups are 2, 6, and 8. And don't forget the reverses, Jerry often says. That in the 7th race. Don't forget Jerry J's Power Pages for all the races at Del Mar. Available right now at jerryjspowerpage.com. And Jerry, in looking at the races at Del Mar today, any thought about the Del Mar debutante quickly?
I don't have much thoughts about it, to be honest.
Okay. Well, you see, everybody asks me why you come on late and you don't have much time on the show. And then when I ask questions, you don't seem to have
it's a horse race with. Yeah. It's just a horse. I don't have a lot of feeling about the particular form of any of the horses. They don't hit me. That's all.
Okay, fine. Again, the Power Pages with a lot of stars, pop-out keys, and a couple of V's on it, available right now at jerryjspowerpage.com. Now, Jerry.
I will say this. In the J.C. McCabe, the 9th,
Yes.
you have a horse in there with just fantastic form, in my opinion, named Anisette. It's the favorite. So
Okay.
I
Yeah.
will give you that.
Actually, Dita is the favorite at 4-5. Anisette is second choice on the morning line at 7-5. The John Maybe, which is the 9th race on the card, you prefer the one over the favorite in that race.
That is correct.
Okay, thanks a lot, Jerry. Now, real quick, I want to tell everybody out there that the team is ready to go. It's Alex and Jeff ready to go on the Sports by the Book. Guys, I know it's an exciting day of college football. I'm just waiting to hear what you guys got to say about the Texas-Michigan game.
Yeah, we have line movement this morning, too.
Wow,
finally back through the 7 to 6.5 this morning on that game. So if you liked Michigan, you missed your number, folks. So we'll talk about that. We have a lot of other good games, Colorado and Nebraska going late tonight, Boise, Oregon.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of fun games here on this week, too,
You guys are loaded for bear today.
Yes.
Yes, we are.
Yeah,
And I need help. I need help.
We got you covered, Ralph.
We'll do our best.
You got it, my man.
Real quick, Ralph.
Yeah.
Sports by the Book channel on YouTube. Sean's going to put a link in the comments. So click there, follow it, watch us at the top of the hour.
All right, you got it, and we will. We need some help with that football as well today. And as we sign off on this show, Jerry, I guess you can say it.
Have a great race day, everybody.